So I'm grabbing from the side. I'm sorry. All right. It is magic. It is magic. Good evening, everyone. We're going to get started. Welcome to the Operations Committee meeting for July 8th, 2025. This evening, I note the presence of committee members, myself, Elgin Bailey, Liz Muirhead, and Holly Charest. We're going to move to an approval of the minutes from June 10th, 2025. Does anyone have any questions or comments? All right. All say aye if we approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. We don't have any presentations tonight. Our first agenda item, can I bundle A and B?
Yes.
Outstanding. Yes, she's busy, so we'll keep moving. Outstanding. So we're going to bundle A and B, Premium Power Services LLC for CASD Annual Generator Service, and B, Premium Power Services LLC North Brandywine Generator Repair. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for the administration or wish to comment on this item? Would any of the board members like to ask a question or make a comment? Hearing no questions or comments, please say yes if you agree to recommend this item for full board approval.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Outstanding. Our next agenda item would be C, S.A. Comley. I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm sure, but Rainbow Elementary Magnetic Line Starter. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for the administration or wish to comment on this item? Any other board members like to ask a question or make a comment? Outstanding. All right, so we can move on to agenda item D, ICS Scott Middle School Project Third-Party Testing Service Update. Does anyone on the committee have any questions or comments for the administration? Outstanding. Any board members have any questions or comments? All right. Hearing no questions or comments, please say yes if you agree to recommend this item for full board approval.
Yes.
Yes.
Outstanding. Moving right along to E, ICS Amendment for Scott Middle School. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for the administration or wish to comment on this item?
I do. I just would love some more context on this change.
You're loud enough. Is it on Wi-Fi?
Oh,
There you go. This is for additional services and change of scope.
Don't move it.
For the work that ICS is providing for the Scott Middle School, and it's a not to exceed number. And I know Lori has had some other conversations with ICS.
Yeah, this went through solicitor review, and they were fine with all the changes. We had this agreement for one of the other projects, duplicating the same agreement, and solicitor reviewed it and had no issues with what was in the agreement.
Does this mean that we'll be paying them more money for the same services, or what are the additional services that have been added?
Let me see. I think it was based on the change in the overall budget for that project. So it would be based on that change is the additional cost that we would have to provide to ICS.
So we're not changing the percentage compensation that they get? We're
No.
just reflecting that the escalation of costs in
That's
the
correct,
project
yes.
is leading to a higher fee? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Outstanding. Any other board members like to ask a question or make a comment? All right, hearing no questions or comments, please say yes if you agree to recommend this item for full board approval.
Yes.
Yes.
Outstanding. Agenda item F, Schrader Group, Snyder Hoffman Associates, Scott Middle School Auditorium Stage Lighting Project. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for the administration or wish to make a comment on this item? Any board member like to ask a question or make a comment? Hearing no question or comments, please state yes if you agree to recommend this item for full board approval. Did we hear yes? I didn't hear
Yes.
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 I'm sorry.
Yes.
I was, my bad, all right, agenda letter G, FMX annual subscription fee. I was worried there for a minute, it was kind of silence. All right, does anyone on the committee have any questions for the administration about agenda letter G?
The only comment that I have is just for any of these things that are annual subscription or annual charges, it's helpful to include what the prior year subscription cost was so that we know if there was a change and how big that change was. So it's not a concern for me if we don't have that information tonight, just a general request that for something like this, that would be helpful.
Outstanding, agreed. Any other board members like to ask a question or make a comment? Hearing no question or comments, please state yes if you agree to recommend this item for full board approval.
Yes.
Yes.
Outstanding, all right. We're working together. All right, agenda letter H, Chambers Flooring LLC, CAIHS Gym Floor Repairs, Intermediate School Repairs. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for the administration or wish to make a comment on this item? Yes, sir.
I'd just like to clarify, you have previously approved the refinishing of the floor. Upon further investigation, there is some considerable damage that we want to repair before we do the floor, and there's also some alterations for the volleyball setup and such that the athletic director had asked for. And just to note, this will be the last time that this floor can be refinished. It was done previously and it was taken down pretty low, but this will be the last time, and next time it'll have to be replaced.
That's helpful, yeah. I was assuming that these were damaged boards that were found during the process of prepping for refinishing.
Yeah, yep.
All right. Any other board members have to ask a question or make a comment? Hearing no more questions or comments, please say yes if you agree to recommend this item for full board approval.
Yes.
All right, we're going to bundle I and J. Low Bar Inc., change order Reeseville Elementary sidewalk, and ICS, change order Reeseville Elementary playground. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for the administration or wish to comment on this item? Any board members like to ask a question or make a comment? Hearing no questions or comments, please say yes if you agree to recommend these items for full board approval.
Yes.
Outstanding. Agenda letter K, ICS Doe Run Elementary Commissioning Agent, RTA. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for the administration or wish to comment on this item?
I would just love to know, what is a commissioning agent? Can you explain what this responsibility is?
So all mechanical and equipment associated with that new building will need a startup. It's part of manufacturer's warranty. It's initial phase of starting them up to ensure they are properly energized and you know, proper phasing of how they start it up. And it follows for warranty and further evaluation down the road. So this is a normal procedure in any new building or new equipment installed.
Great, thank you.
Any other board members like to ask a question or make a comment? Hearing no further questions or comments, please say yes if you agree to recommend this item for full board approval.
Yes.
Yes.
Outstanding. Agenda letter item L, Sycamore Electronic Recycling. The Board of School Directors approved the proposal from Sycamore for IT recycling as listed for a total cost of $0. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for the administration or wish to make a comment on this item? Any other board members like to ask a question or make a comment? Hearing no questions or comments, please say yes if you agree to recommend this item for full board approval.
Yes.
Yes.
Outstanding. Moving on to agenda letter M. Chesco-Net Internet Service Provider Renewal. That the Board of School Directors approve the proposal from Chesco-Net for 6 gigabytes fiber optic connectivity annual internet service renewal for a total cost of $52,000. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for the administration or wish to comment on this item?
Just the same note that it would be helpful to know the renewal in escalation, if any.
Outstanding. Any other board members like to ask a question or make a comment? Hearing no more questions or comments, please say yes if you agree to recommend this item for full board approval.
Yes.
All right. Moving on to agenda letter N, Power School's annual contract renewals. That the Board of School Directors approve the proposal from Power School for district applicant tracking, enrollment registration, mobile connector, predictive enrollment, SIS, and records for a total cost of $188,144.57 as presented. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for the administration or wish to comment on this item?
I love how you're looking at me. Yes, I do. Last year, I think we had a bunch of the Power Schools approvals done at separate times, and we were trying to align them. Is this all of the Power School renewals, or are there any others that are
So
separate?
this is all the renewals. This does not mean we are renewing all of these, but they're approved so that if we move forward, we are still going ahead and analyzing whether or not each of these products is to our fitting
Okay,
for the district.
but if all of them are, we'll have now aligned all of the Power Schools renewals to the
Correct.
same sequence, so we'll only see Power Schools renewal once.
Once, correct.
Perfect, that's great, thank you.
Any other board members like to ask a question or make a comment?
Yes. Obviously, I mean, we're approving this. I hear often, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that we have all these add-ons for Power School. We need an upgrade, like the top upgrade, because things aren't talking to each other. So I just want to make sure that, why do we have to have all of these add-ons when we just need a upgrade to the,
Mr. Oliver, do you just want to
Most
give that explanation about the school
frequent.
information management system?
just a ton
But-
of add-ons?
But while Mr. Oliver's coming up to the microphone, so eSchool Plus is a product of Power School, which Power School bought out pretty much all the system information management systems. So we still have eSchool Plus. So as part of eSchool Plus, they still had a lot of add-ons as part of their company. But we are still under that umbrella of Power School, but all of these are necessary in order for our information management system.
I guess my question is, why not, can we just have the whole package instead of all of these add-ons? Like, what's the cost of the whole, like, I don't know.
They don't do it, they don't do a.
So
like,
are we, like,
one bundle.
frequent, are we like totally upgraded on all, like, totally upgraded on these?
Well, this isn't an upgrade, these are just individual products that we use to support
Okay.
within our information management system.
And they all talk to each other?
So the one that was purchased last year was the attendance
Uh-huh.
and the, what was the other one, the document sign, Lori? Was it? I know it was the attendance one. So in investigating that further and talking to the representative from Power School, who oversees the eSchool Plus products, there is coding that can allow to happen. So I'm working with him that it will not be any cost to us if we get this up and running this year for what we paid for last year.
So it's not up and running, but we've been paying for it for a year?
We paid for it in advance. So we are working to get a credit towards all of our products, right? But so there is a coding to make it work within eSchool Plus itself, but until that happens, so what they're looking to do is give it to us this year, because we already paid for it, so there wouldn't be any cost for the attendance bundle. If it does not work, we will still be seeking a credit from Power School. Does that make sense?
It makes
what I'm saying?
sense, but you're saying that it didn't work all last year?
It did not work last year. We tried to get it up and running, and the system
But
did
this
not
is a
work.
renewal.
Well,
I guess I'm
we're not
confused.
doing the attendance one renewal. The renewal for the attendance would be 0.
Okay. Well, we can talk more about that later. All right, cool.
Do you want to just give a quick, from
Sure.
your perspective on?
So Power School is one company, and they have 2 different student information systems. One is called Power School SIS, and the other one's called eSchool Plus. That's what we have. All of the connecting components, the mobile connector, the registration product is separate. So they're all kind of plugins that work from the company PowerSchool as a whole. The attendance intervention, I think it was, that we were working on, did not connect to the eSchool properly and would not transfer information, so we didn't go any farther and said, you need to get it to work. We asked for a credit where they said they have it working in another district and they were going to work towards getting it done. So once that's done, we can then use the year that we paid for and then a renewal next year.
Right, so is Power Schools better than eSchools?
PowerSchool is just different than eSchool. PowerSchool SIS is different than eSchool SIS. They're just two different products. The company Head's company PowerSchool.
Okay, I'm getting that now. And
They-
we've looked at both of them to see which one best suits our needs. And you're saying eSchools does?
I'm saying that, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's what has been here since I got here.
Right, but
Right.
just because it's been here, I mean, can we look into, like, maybe it doesn't work,
I
you know?
I don't know that we have any significant problems with eSchool. Even with the PowerSchool student information, you still need the separate products. So
I think what I'm hearing, though, from teachers, and maybe we need to do a survey, honestly, because I feel like I'm getting misinformation from a bunch of different schools and teachers saying that, like, they're not talking to one another. I got 2 emails when they saw this agenda. These are just 2, but I mean, I've heard other teachers talk to me about this, is that, and they kept on saying to me, we don't need another add-on, we need to upgrade it to Power Schools. So that's what teachers are saying. I do not know this platform very well.
So the add-ons are not for teachers. The add-ons we're doing are administrative products that we utilize as part of our information management system, our student information
Right.
management system.
Okay.
So-
And you know the difference between eSchools and Power Schools and that?
So PowerSchool is just another,
Okay,
it's just another vehicle to run your student information management system.
okay.
If you were to change over, like, that's a huge project in regards to switching over to a new school management system, information management system.
2 years.
Pardon?
That's typically a
Yeah,
two-year
it's a 2-year
process to change
transition.
to any student. So there's other student information systems. There's Skyward. There is, I forget the other name. There's a bunch of different ones. And PowerSchool only has 2 because they bought, at the time, what was Panimation. And Panimation had eSchool and eFinance, and they didn't have a finance product. So they bought the whole company, and they're supporting the eSchool product as a student information system because districts didn't want to leave what they had. So I previously did a eSchool to PowerSchool change in a different district who is still struggling to get themselves up where they were when they left eSchool. So is it comparable? Absolutely, it's comparable. Is one better than the other? I don't think that they are. If we can identify some things that it doesn't do, that's something we can work with PowerSchool, the company, on to say, let's fix these things. Sure.
All right, and I'm back. All right, agenda letter O. Visual sound, smart boards, Reeseville and North Brandywine, that the Board of School Directors approve the proposal from Visual Sound for smart boards in the new construction at both Reeseville Elementary, $33,870.22, and North Brandywine Middle School for $22,775.98 for a total cost of $56,646.20. Does anyone in the committee have any questions for the administration? Or wish to comment? I'm sorry.
Is this part of, oh, sorry, turn this off. Is this part of the holdover from ESSER's funding, or is this something
No,
that's being
this is
funded out
part of
our
the
budget?
construction project.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other board members have any questions or comments?
Just one question about it says it's the cost without installation. Will our own staff will just do the installations? There's not going to be an additional installation charge?
In the contract, when the projects were bid, the EC or electrical contractor had bid on installing the products.
So that's already accounted for somewhere else?
Yeah, I originally had quotes to have them installed by our organization, but they, Megan let me know that they're doing the install.
Thank you.
All right, any other board members like to make a question or ask a question or make a comment? Hearing no more questions or comments, please say yes if you agree to recommend this item for full board approval.
Yes.
Outstanding. Agenda letter.
Mr. Bailey, I'm sorry, before we move forward, I don't believe we actually got a vote on the power schools. I think Ms. Jacko asked her questions or her comments.
Yeah, we kind of got derailed a little
And we
bit.
got derailed. Can we go back to
We'll
that
bring it
one?
back.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
So this is for, Power School, I'm
Letter
sorry.
N.
Let's
Yes.
do letter N. All right. Please say yes if you agree to recommend this for full board approval.
Yes.
Yes.
Outstanding. Now we're going to go
Thank you.
down to P. All right. That the board of school directors approve the proposal for Vercata for security cameras in the new construction at both Reeseville for $47,280.30 and North Brandywine Middle School for $85,897.45 for a total cost of $133,177.75 as presented. Does anyone on the committee have any questions for the administration or wish to like to comment on this item? All right, any board members like to ask a question or make a comment?
I'll just clarify, this is also for the additions for North Brandywine and Reeseville.
Outstanding, thank you for that. Hearing no more questions or comments, please say yes if you agree to move this item to the full board approval.
Yes.
All right. Q, RTI network and wireless access points at Reeseville and North Brandywine, that the Board of School Directors approve the proposal from RTI for network and wireless access points in the new construction at both Reeseville Elementary and North Brandywine Middle School for a total cost of $79,358 as presented. Anyone on the committee have any questions or comments for administration? Any board members like to ask a question or make a comment? Hearing no questions or comments, please say yes if you agree to recommend this item for full board approval.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. R, Palo Alto Networks Firewall License Renewal. That the Board of School Directors approve the proposal from Palo Alto Network for the district firewall license, one-year renewal for a total cost of $38,533 as presented. Anyone in the committee have any questions or comments for the administration? Any board members like to ask a question or make a comment? Hearing no questions or comments, please say yes if you agree to recommend this item for full board approval.
Yes.
Yes.
Outstanding. We have no informational items. Any old business? No. Any new business?
I do just have one
Outstanding.
thing that I wanted to ask. I find it confusing sometimes to identify which of these items are already accounted for in our existing construction budgets and our existing maintenance budgets, and which are an increase to what we're spending that we need to find some sort of offset elsewhere. So just as we go through and put these agendas together, it would be helpful to have a little bit of context on that. I'm much more comfortable approving things that are already accounted for in our plans, and I would like to spend more time asking questions about things that are new, that we had not accounted for. Thank you.
Outstanding. All right. We're going to move to public comments. The board has requested that all persons making comments of public concern list their name, address, telephone number, and topics on the sheet provided. There is a 3-minute time limit per person. Time may not be yielded to another speaker. Our only speaker for this committee meeting would be Lori Shannon Bailey. Good evening.
I thought it was me. Good evening. Thank you very much, Mr. Bailey. Letter H, I just want to know, and this might apply for some other contracts, you all would know better than me, but with regards to hiring minority contractors, veteran-owned contractors, women-owned contractors, has the district made any efforts to do such? I know a prior board member used to talk to the community, maybe talk to the board about the importance of having our contracts with money from or companies or businesses who reflect our diverse community. So in this case, particularly the gym floor, that may have been a good opportunity if in fact it's not the contractor Chambers floor and is not a minority. So the question would be, are any of these contractors minority contractors, veteran-owned, women-owned, veterans are minorities, some of them are. So that would be that question. I appreciate the conversation on the Power School annual contract renewal. It was good to kind of get a good idea about what that language is all about. I wondered what SIS is. I heard it mentioned several times, but no one identified the acronym for SIS. I did hear that we don't use SIS. I believe I heard that, but it would be nice to know exactly
Ms.
what.
Bailey, I'm just going to clarify. That's Student Information System. That's the entire product.
Okay, so I guess we do use it. Okay, I apologize. Thank you.
Outstanding. Moving on, our next meeting will be held on August 12th, 2025. If there is no other business, I adjourn Operations Committee meeting at 6:40.
I will call to order the Finance Committee meeting at 6:37 PM. I am the chairperson, Liz Muirhead. I recognize Vice Chairman Shauna Maxwell and Board Member Beth Brindle. Board Member Robin Seagreaves is excused. We start with the approval of the minutes. Are there any questions, comments, or corrections to the minutes for June 10th, 2025? Okay, seeing none. All in favor of approving the minutes, please say yes.
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 Yes. All right, the minutes are approved and will be placed on file. We have no presentations. Moving to the agenda items, letter A, financial statements. That the Board of School Directors approve the financial statements and bills payables list as presented. Do any members of the committee have questions or comments on this item? Any members of the full board? Okay. All in favor of moving this to the full board agenda, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. It is so moved. Letter B, Willis Towers Watson Northeast Insurance Policy Renewal. I'm going to bundle this with letter C, the Highmark Stop Loss Insurance Renewal. Are there any questions or comments on this item from the committee? I'm going to note from my conversations with our Director of Finance that the Willis Towers Watson Northeast policy reflects a 10.6% price increase. The umbrella coverage amount was reduced from 15 million to 10 million to try to save on some of those costs and bring the increase down than from prior years. There was, Willis Towers Watson does investigate, they're an independent broker, so they investigate insurance rates from a number of different companies. They came back and assured us that, you know, especially when we looked at some of the more expensive areas like the boiler and the machinery premium, it was much more expensive to go with a different provider. And some of the general insurance premiums have been affected by nationwide issues. I think everybody's experiencing that, escalation in insurance claims because of natural disasters and the like. So when we did push back and ask them to go back and check this against the escalation that they were seeing at other schools, and they did come back to us and say that it was in line or less than what other schools were facing as well.
Thank you, that's helpful.
You're welcome. Any members of the committee have anything to add on that? Any members of the full board? Okay. All in favor of moving letters B and C to the full board agenda, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. It is so moved. On to letter D, Callan Plaza LLC Tax Assessment Appeal. Recommended item that the Board of School Directors approve the stipulation for settlement agreement regarding a taxpayer-initiated tax assessment appeal concerning Pennsylvania Callan Plaza LLC as presented. I wanted to note, just for people who don't memorize the names of the different shopping centers, that this is the shopping center that had recent improvements through the addition of a Dunkin' Donuts, so just down the street from the high school. The addition of the Dunkin' Donuts increased the value of the property, so that would have increased the assessment. That led to a taxpayer-initiated assessment appeal of what that increase was, and then resulted in a settlement, an agreement between us and them, slightly below our assessment, but, meeting in the middle. And there was also an agreement that they would not appeal this assessment again for another year, so giving us some more certainty on the tax revenue from this property. So I think that's a success story there of our negotiations with them. Any member of the committee have questions or comments on this item? Any member of the full board? Okay, all in favor of moving this to the full board agenda, please say yes.
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 Okay, it is so moved. Moving on to letters E and F. These are donations. Letter E is a Kings Highway instrument donation from Eva Otten for the repair of band and string instruments at Kings Highway in the amount of $1,000 plus instruments as presented. Letter F is the Edith McGonigal Memorial Award donation for cash seniors that was given at the senior award ceremony, also for $1,000. Do any members of the committee have questions or comments on these items? Any members of the full board? Seeing none, all in favor of moving this to the full board agenda, please say yes.
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 Yes. It is so moved. Letter G, Kings Highway Spring Shutterfly Commission, that the Board of School Directors approve the School Picture Commission from Shutterfly for spring pictures in the amount of $400.61 as presented. Any questions from members of the committee on this? Any questions from the full board? All in favor of moving this to the full board agenda, please say yes.
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 Yes. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Sorry, we all zoned out on Elgin earlier, so it's all good. All right, it is so moved. Okay, I'm going to take letter H on its own because of where the funding's coming from, and then I'll bundle the rest. So letter H is the Kindergarten Jumpstart Program. Recommended action that the Board of School Directors approve the following positions for the Kindergarten Jumpstart Program: 4 kindergarten teachers, 2 aide positions, 1 reading specialist, 1 contracted speech and language therapist, and 1 contracted occupational therapist. The program will be held July 28th, 31st, and August 4th through the 7th. Will help prepare incoming kindergarten students and is funded by the Coatesville Education Foundation. So this is a program that we have heard about from our Education Foundation partners and are very excited to help improve the academic readiness of some of our incoming kindergartners. Do any members of the committee have anything to add on this?
Do we know the approximate amount of it? I mean, I know we're not funding it, but just out of curiosity, what they're,
So they've allocated up to $50,000 per year for the next 3 years.
that's great. Thank you.
Maybe, do you know how many students are going to be attending? It's helpful.
So currently, we have somewhere about 25 students. We're allocating up to 40 students to be part of the program. We're offering transportation to and from the program, and we are looking into an extended daycare opportunity for parents who would be unable to get their children at midday. So we would provide that childcare. And this is all the supplies, this is all the teachers, you name it, the whole bundle's there. So,
It's really generous, very
it
exciting.
is.
All right. Any questions or comments from other members of the committee or the full board?
Yeah, I just want to, again, thank the Coatesville Community Foundation. I'm not saying that right, am I? Education Foundation, I missed a word. This is super generous for the next 3 years, and it's going to be really helpful to those kids who are a little behind, and we'll hopefully can get them caught up and ready for kindergarten. So I think this is a great opportunity.
They have been amazing, and I have to say Regina Lewis has been outstanding, and just her partners on the board of the Education Foundation, they have gone out, they have canvassed to many companies in regards to it, and I know the first 50,000 was raised, I mean, literally in a matter of, I think, 2 months, 2.5 months, the first $50,000 was raised, so.
That's incredible. Really exciting. We're very lucky to have such great partners in the community here supporting our students. So all in favor of moving this to the full board agenda, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. With our thanks. Okay, moving on to letters I, J, K, L, M, and N. These are renewals of a variety of somewhat extra positions. So PBIS renewal for letter I. Letter J is homebound tutor renewals. Letter K, curriculum writer renewals. Letter L, coach renewals. Letter M, game event worker renewals. And letter N, club extra duty renewals. Do any members of the committee have questions or comments on these items? Any members of the full board? Okay. Seeing none, all in favor of moving these to the full board agenda, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, they are so moved. Informational items, we have our typical account code legal fees. I'll note that in discussion with our finance director, we have been well below legal fees for the year that just concluded, which is great news. And so hopefully we will continue to, respond as needed with, while staying well within our budget. There's also the medical claims item. There is no old business. Is there any new business? Okay, I will move to public comment. The board has requested all persons making comment on agenda items list their name, address, telephone number, and motion items. There is a 3-minute time limit per person. The board does not take action or discuss items not appearing on the agenda. The board values public comments and wishes to convey that although board members cannot discuss items that are not on the agenda, they listen carefully and appreciate and value input from the public. Ms. Lori Shannon Bailey.
Thank you. I do have more than what's written there. I didn't quite have time to put all of my thoughts down, so if you could just bear with me. So for bills to be paid, capital projects, I wanted to know on page 1 what the NB was. I know NB could mean, it could mean North Brandywine. It says land development. I left my notes over there. And then it also, there's a large dollar amount. Let's see here. Bear with me, please. I got to get the right one. There's a large dollar amount for Kings Highway that also has NB. So if I could know what the acronym is for this $400 and some thousand project, that would be helpful. At Kings Highway, that has NB as an acronym. The PBIS awards, I'm wondering if there are any community members associated with that program. If not, that might be a good opportunity to connect with some communities, some community partners. That was one question that I did not have time to write on the paper. I apologize. It's been a bad hair day. I see the homebound instructor list. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. I'm just wondering if students who are chronically truant, who have a school improvement plan, school improvement attendance plan could possibly participate in that? If so, where would that conversation take place? Would that be an IEP meeting, or would that be a special meeting? Would that be a meeting with the guidance counselor? Many of the marginalized families and children that I represent would probably benefit from something like that. I don't know, maybe not. Let's see here. Thank you for the improvement in the legal fees. It is very much improved. I will not now have to pay a CPA to help me understand the language there. So I do appreciate that effort. Kudos on the Jump Start program. Thank God for community organizations that support the district. I think this is the first year the district has had such a program, maybe. So thank you, Dr. Liz. So looking for good things about that as the program goes forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Shannon Bailey. Okay, that is our only public comment. So with that, I conclude the Finance Committee meeting at 6:51 PM.
I call to order the Education Committee meeting for July 8th, 2025. This evening, I note the presence of committee members Elgin Bailey, Steve Wilson, myself, Donna Rowland, and the absent Robin Seagreaves. Also, I would like to acknowledge our employee representatives, Amy Brown and Hannah Kaptor. We have a quorum, so we will move ahead with the meeting. I note that only committee members can approve agenda items moving to the full board agenda. Next is the approval of minutes from our June 10th, 2025 meeting. Are there any questions or concerns? If not, all in favor of approving
Yes.
the minutes, say yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you. We have no presentations this evening. Now for number 4 on the agenda item, for each agenda item, enhanced core reading instruction, ECRI, success for PA early learners, the SPELL, which is SPELL grant agreement. Recommended action that the Board of School Directors approve the ECRI and SPELL grant agreement in the amount of $10,000 for 2025 through 2026 school year and $10,000 for the 2026-2027 school year, and the total amount of $20,000 as presented. Are there any committee questions from the committee or comments? Any other board members have questions or comments? Hearing none, we can move further on and just say yes if you support recommending this item to the full board.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. B, Coatesville High School Commons W.B. Mason Furniture Quote Approval. Recommended action that the Board of School Directors approve the Cash Career Center quote from W.B. Mason at $13,090.13 for restorative and $20,276.41 for Career Center furniture as presented. Any committee members have any questions or concerns? Full board, any questions or concerns? Any question or comments? Hearing no further discussion, please say yes if you recommend this item going to the full board.
Yes.
Yes.
C through G, we're going to combine the instructional resources. Okay, our next group, these include our curriculum-based tools used across multiple grade levels and departments. Since they are not student-specific and fall under general instructional budgeting, we'll consider them together in one vote. The items are as follows. C, I think it's NUSILA resource. D, Teachers Discovery VOCES digital license. I'm not sure what VOCES stands for. That's for 1 year. Scholastic Magazine, 1 year renewal. 95% group comprehension packs, that's letter F. And G, AP Myers psychology books and digital licenses. Okay, I recommend an act that the board approve all 5 instructional resources as presented. Would any committee members have any questions or comments?
Yeah, I would like to make a comment on C, Newsella. Just want to highlight, it is an absolute phenomenal piece of technology, largely because you have the ability to differentiate reading levels in your classrooms. So if you have students who may be on a 4th grade reading level, and you have students who may be in the 5th grade reading level, all in the same class, you can take the same article and put it in, and it allows that article to be put in place for that particular reading level. It really is a phenomenal piece. I mean, and it used reputable news sources. I absolutely love it. I use it all the time in my classroom. I highly recommend, and I am excited that our students and teachers get an opportunity to use this program.
Thank you, Elgin. Anybody else want to comment? Any questions?
Comment that VOCES spells voces, which is the Spanish word for voices, and this is a world language curriculum, so voices is what it
Okay.
means.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, all right. The full board have anything? No? If then we can, please say yes if you support recommending this instructional resources group for full board approval.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. H and I, combined program and services agreements. This includes programs and partnership agreements that are not student-specific and fall under general services and programming. We'll consider these 2 items together in one vote. H, Adelphi, agreement for student teachers. I, AFRJOTC, out-of-state field trip. Can anybody explain H?
So H is the Adelphia University, and this is their agreement that we can have their student teachers participate in our schools.
Okay, all right. And, okay, any other questions from our board, our committee? From the full board? Okay. Okay, all right. If there are no further questions, please say yes if you support recommending this instructional resource group for full board approval.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now to J, the Concept School ESY for student ID 10014956. Recommended action that the board approve the extended school year placement at the Concept School for student 10014956 as presented. Okay, we can't have any discussion on this because that's private information, but we will now take a vote just to move this to the full board agenda. Everybody in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, committee, okay. All right, we'll move this to the full board agenda. K, the Vanguard School Agreement Addendum A1, an invoice for the 2025 through 2026 school year for student ID number 10021991. This also cannot be discussed because the student information is private. But we would like to move this to the full board agenda. If the committee members have any questions? If not, full board, any questions? Okay, can I have a vote to move this to the full board agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. L through M, combined facilities and tech resources, motion script. Okay, this includes facilities and operational technology purchases that support student management in the school environment. These items are not student-specific and cannot be considered together in one vote. The items are as follows. PBIS, that's the Positive Behavior Intervention Support quote for 2025 through 26 school year, and M, Smart Pass Plus Hall Pass System quote for the 2025 through 2026 school year. I was in the education meeting, and Michelle really did explain item M, the Smart Pass. I was really surprised at how that works, and I think that's going to help a lot with our identifying any issues ahead of time, any fights or anything. So that's a good one. Any questions from the committee? From the full board?
I have a question.
Is there any recent data on how the Smart Pass has done over at the high school campus
Michelle?
since the last?
I don't have it with me, but I can collect the data and provide it to you.
Okay.
If there's something specific you're looking for, just let me know, because it would have to pull it out individually.
Okay.
In that regards.
I guess I'm looking for mostly how, what do I want to at? With students in the hallways between classes, has that gone down? I'm interested to see if there's been a reduction in that since implementing the Smart Pass system.
I'm not sure the Smart Pass is going to do that piece of it. It's
Okay.
more about knowing where students are once they're in class and being able to ask to be excused to go
Yeah.
to the restroom.
Okay.
Or if there's two identifying students, if like, for example, Holly and Beth can't get along in the hall, I know Holly's out in the hall, I'm not going to send Beth.
Right.
Those type of things.
Okay.
But I'm not sure in between, in regards to when they're out of class, that's really going to do any type of,
Okay.
anything for the teacher in that regard.
So it has nothing to do with like students who arrive late for class or
If they
anything like
don't
that?
have, so if you are the teacher prior period, and you didn't do a pass for that student on their Smart Pass.
Okay.
To send them to class knowing they're gonna be late, at least the teacher knows they came in late and with no excuse.
Okay.
It was
Gotcha.
unexcused.
Gotcha.
All right. Are there any other questions from the board or committee? Okay, we recommend that the board approve all three of these three facilities and tech resource items as presented. Can I have a vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I don't believe there's any informational items, any old business, new business? I don't think so. Okay, so we can go to public comment. The board has requested all persons making comments on agenda items list their name, address, telephone number, and motions. There is a 3-minute limit per person. The board does not take action or discuss items not appearing on the agenda. The board values public comments and wishes to convey that although board members cannot discuss items that are not on the agenda, we listen carefully and appreciate and value input from the public. Ms. Lori Shannon Bailey.
Good evening. Thank you very much. I do have another question about the PBIS item that I didn't get a chance to write on the paper, so if you would bear with me. Adelphi Agreement, letter H, I'm happy to see that you all are contracting with other universities other than Westchester. Not that I have a problem with Westchester University. They're an outstanding university. Many of my friends have graduated from there, and I have friends that have students there. But it reminds me of conversations that I've had in the past with the board about the need to diversify teachers in the district and administrators in the district. So the question would be, is this a school that is a historically black college or university? If it isn't, has the district made any efforts to contract with such a school in order to get minority teachers, which are a reflection of our students? And then item L, PBS rewards program, the quote. So the wording here was of interest to me. The funding for this program will come from school improvement monies for the schools who are improvement. So improvement can mean a lot of things. It could mean attendance, it could mean construction, it could mean behavior, it could mean a lot of things. So for schools who are improvement, I'd like to know what exactly does that mean? Is it a school improvement plan connected with the audit that PDE does? What exactly are we talking about in terms of that? And then also, teachers were very favorable, or teachers had very favorable reviews, and most want to continue with the program with more training. I think that's great. I would encourage you to be intentional with scheduling the training. In some cases, I'm not saying that this is you all, but in some cases, training is sometime overlooked, but it would be, I think, to your advantage to make sure these dates are scheduled so that the teachers can get this training, because I don't have to tell you all what a great program this is. How did the students feel about it? Do we have data on the students' feedback of the pilot? I'd be interested to know what that is, if you collected data from students on the pilot, and I think maybe the public would too. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bailey. Our next meeting will be held on Tuesday, August 12, 2025. If there's no other business, I adjourn the Education Committee at 7:05 p.m.
I call to order the Policy Committee meeting at 7:05. I am Holly Charest, the chairperson. I note the presence of Vice Chair Donna Rowland, also board members Beth Brindle and Lyra Nyako. And also, I want to acknowledge employee representatives Amy Brown and Melanie Town. Is she here? Okay, all right. First order of business is approval of the minutes. We are approving the minutes of the June 10th, 2025 Policy Committee meeting minutes. Are there any questions from committee members about the minutes? Any questions from other board members? Okay. If there are no objections, we will move the minutes into public information. There are no presentations this evening. We have no agenda items. There are no informational items. For old business, I just would like to follow up on something. I know last month, in June, I unfortunately was absent, but there was a request to look into the district's policy regarding homework, and I just wanted to know what the status was of that.
So this coming school year, we are actually forming a committee to look at also report cards at the elementary level, and homework will be encompassed as part of that. So that will be a full review and audit of both the policy and the report card process.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any other old business? Any new business? Okay, there is no public comment. So I will, the next meeting will be August 12th, 2025. And I am going to adjourn the Policy Committee meeting at 7:09.
Mr. Oliver, are we done recording on the phone as well? Do you know?
Do you have to cross any creeks or rivers on your way?